You can put the $8 he has left. Outside, Andy tries passing the store owner's idea of sharing it off as her own idea. A little rip-off girl, this one. But no dice. Evan suggests that, come back to my place. I'll let you mess with it for a bit.
And he's not talking about the monster blood.
They go back to the great Aunt Catherine's, who sometimes I call Aunt Catherine. Sometimes I just call Catherine because she's all of those things to different people. So just don't.
And she's deaf. She doesn't count.
She doesn't even know. Is it strange that when Evan is describing the books that he has in his room, we didn't talk about this before because he's describing them as like, a bunch of science and medical books. And then when Andy sees them, she describes them all as magic books.
Yeah.
Are they the same books, or is she just seeing a different row of books that Andy didn't that Evan didn't realize?
Or is he just to the point where it's like following Clark's third law that any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic?
Maybe, Nick.
She's 12.
She's also a lady, and they mature faster than men. Maybe she's real into this kind of thing.
That's possible, but based on her attitude so far,
I love Andy.
All right.
So
she's 12.
Oh, she was 12 in 1992, Nick. How old do you think she is now?
37.
Basic math.
In a row.
They open up the can.
A whoop-ass?
No monster blood.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. This isn't called whoop-ass.
It's
called monster blood.
So they open up that can. The book describes monster blood as looking like, but thicker than, Jell-O.
Jell-O.
Ka-ching.
Want some of that mad Bill Cosby money.
The Cosby bucks. That's what he's in. He has his wallet now.
It was 1992. It was a different time. He was still America's treasure.
The kind of green that glows in the dark. You know that kind of green.
That kind of green. And you know what? Most Goosebumps merch were covered in that green.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, probably because of Monster Blood. But also, like, it was just, like, a lot of it glowed in the dark.
Yeah. And I don't want to, R.L. Stine, I love your books. I love your work.
Yeah.
I love you.
Well,
I wish you would return some of my phone calls.
Yeah, no, creepy.
But this book, upon reflection, just seems like a way to set up the series to be very marketable. Because it's true, Monster Blood kind of became the thing that Goosebumps had to sell. Like it was.
I mean, like Curly and the Mummy and Slappy were all, and especially like the hamster from Monster Blood 2, Hammy, I think was.
No, Hammy the hamster. That was from a different YTV show. It was Cuddles.
Was it?
Cuddles the hamster.
Hi guys, I'm a super fan.
That's okay. You keep my mind working because I hear something like that and then I'm like, no way.
Yeah, keep it working.
That's from that live action hamster show.
Once Upon a Hamster.
There you go. What were you saying, Nick? About the hamsters and the Slappies and the Curlies of the world.
Well, just that it became a staple of Goosebumps. Those are the things. Those are the icons of the series as a whole.
That's true, but they never felt forced. Like I know Curly, though he was never really in any of the books. He was just the mascot.
He's just a mascot.
And I was okay with that. And the rest of the characters, Monster Blood never had a final form, like a marketable form as a character.
Just goo.
But just goo. And kids
But then you
had
the hamster.
Yeah.
That was like, the Monster Blood hamster.
He's the embodiment of
like
Monster Blood.
Green Monster Blood from its mouth.
Yeah.
With those buck teeth.
I love that cover. I loved it. We're going to get to that when we get to issue 18. But for now,
soon.
And it's not that soon.
All right. Well, we'll get to it when we get to it.
Yeah. We'll also talk about the cover at the end of this.
Of course.
We've been doing a bad job of talking at the beginning.
And we spent a lot of time on that first page.
The two of them go into the closet together.
What if it's plutonium? What if like Monster Blood 2 is just like Evan, he doesn't have any hair and he's just all sick.
Monster Blood 2, repercussions.
Monster blood cancer.
They tried to sue the store owner, and he's like, I told him, don't come back complaining to me. Aw. Oh, poor Evan. I have a little more sympathy for him now. So yes, it glows very brightly. Luminescent in a way. It also bounces and stretches very well.
It's like glow-in-the-dark silly putty.
Oh yeah, it's like
but more viscous?
Yeah. Yeah, it's all the best things about these products from the 90s. It's like a little bit of gack. It's a little bit of
you keep
silly
saying
putty.
gack. I'm not familiar with
You
gack.
don't know gack? What about Floam? You're down with Floam, no? That was just...
Oh, is that just that commercial?
Well, it was a commercial for Floam, I suppose.
What was an infomercial? You're making the starfish?
Yeah,
okay.
So
I
it's
remember
basically
the Floam.
like this gooey substance, but these brilliant people at Floam decided, I'm going to put a bunch of tiny little pieces of styrofoam in it, and it gives it a different texture.
Right.
So there you go. You had that. This is like the embodiment of all of these things, and Evan is just very unimpressed with it. He's like, it's all right. But I've played with stuff like this before.
You paid $2 for it, Evan.
What did you want?
What were you expecting? It's not flubber.
Yeah, stop living in a fantasy land. Stop being Doug Funny.
You're not Robin Williams.
You're not. So they accidentally drop some on the ground, and Trigger runs over and eats it up.
Stupid fucking dog.
Dogs always...
Like, they will just eat anything.
Yeah. I wonder where this is going.
Well, the dog's gonna die.
Yes.
I mean, it's monster blood.
Toxic?
Probably. I mean, if this town is any indication, that stuff is... First of all, the town is old. That stuff is really old.
Yeah.
There were no safety protocols. That stuff is probably has so much bleach in it.
I don't think it probably, because it really didn't have very much information on the can.
No, it was just monster blood. And like, so even if it's like, okay, it is actual monster blood.
Yeah.
You don't, blood, no.
And you know what? It came in a can. Are there directions not to eat this? Are there directions to play with it?
Well, what does the label say? Did he even bother to read the label?
Did it say not for human consumption? Not for canine consumption? Not for consumption in general? I don't know. Well, maybe he takes it home and he boils it in a pot and eats it.
Evan, stupid.
There you go. Jump to 3 days later. Who cares about the dog, right?
Right.
Evan does care about it, but we just don't jump to 3 days later anyway. Evan's aunt is becoming much colder to him. And at this point, Stein describes her teeth clicking noisily. Yeah, there you go. She drinks iced tea. That's not a natural thing. I don't know how that happens.
Iced tea?
Iced tea's, no, clicking your teeth loudly.
Uh-huh.
Do you do that? Do you drink something and then just like, ooh, that was nice.
No.
Okay.
No.
Good. I'm going to pay attention when you drink iced tea now. Just, when you think you can't be more grossed out by Great Aunt Catherine, she does something like this. Evan now finds out that his parents are going to take a little longer finding a new home. They're enjoying this vacation. They're stay away from Evan. And Kath...
They're just going into houses and using the bidet and then fucking off.
Yeah, well, they're like, oh, we found a perfect house, Evan, but you wouldn't like the school. We're going to keep looking.
But I like his answer. I don't have to go to school.
Yeah.
I like that.
His stay with Great Aunt Catherine is going to have to be extended. Why does she even own a phone? What's the point? So she can call up people and just talk but not have to listen to anybody? Why is there a phone? She can't hear it ring. She's paying for it.
It's true.
That's
true. Why
Later on, she gets a telegram.
That would be the best way to read. Well, no, I mean just letters.
So do you think she just calls people and talks and they respond in telegram? Whatever. It was convenient for the plot because we don't want to wait for a telegram for
Yeah,
I
think it's just convenient for the plot that there's a phone in case someone wants to use it. Well, it's a waste of fucking money.
Especially when no one's allowed in her house. She's not allowed guests, as we find out later.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
The cat did it.
The cat did it.
That's how most of these books are going to end, isn't it?
The cat did it. Evan now is on his way over to Andy's place when the Bamer twins, Rick and Tony, keep doing that while I describe them, two beefy red-faced brothers wearing heavy metal t-shirts. They're about to beat him up and steal his $8. But Andy rides up on her BMX and saves him, and they push her to the ground. They push this lady to the ground, Nick. I hate them now. Because I'm identifying more with Andrea.
Okay, yeah.
And
There's a lot to unpack there.
I've just been pushed to the ground by these bullies, and then they steal her bike, and Evan just stands there and does nothing.
Yeah.
Does this make you hate Evan just a little more?
No, because I mean, if I were in that situation, I don't want to get beat up.
Andy wishes that something could be done about those two. All they do is terrorize the neighborhood. She goes home to wash the blood off her leg, and Evan goes back to his home. Doesn't even offer to go back with her and see if she's okay, help her back to her place. Just lets her go. He's like, oh, okay, well, go home and wash up. He later, though, fantasizes about beating up these twins, beating them to a pulp, while Andrea watches and cheers him on.
I mean, to a pulp?
To a bloody, disgusting mess on the floor, and he's enjoying it, and Andrea is into it.
I think Evan might be a psychopath.
Especially when he didn't do anything. He's really fantasizing here. He's Doug Funnying it up because he did nothing, and all of a sudden now he is this hero who's killing these two children, and the woman he loves is just into it. Now he goes to check on Trigger, who happens to be choking to death outside.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, and then his eyes are bulging and all. Nearly dies, but Evan removes his collar, which is shrunk. Or has it?
It's leather. Leather doesn't shrink, you guys.
Unless it gets wet. Ooh, trust you. What have you been doing? It was cutting off his airflow and his blood circulation. And so I imagine in his mind, he justifies not protecting Andy because he's like, well, had I done something about these bullies, I would have been a little later to get home, and my dog would have been dead.
Trigger would be fucking dead.
Would have been this sickening dog corpse in the backyard.
Probably, like, if he was still growing, because I mean that's what's happening. He's just growing larger and larger.
We don't know that yet.
We don't know it yet, but we know it.
We know
that collar would have stayed the same. Like, that head would have popped right off.
Yeah, he would have come home later that afternoon. There would have just been a giant headless dog corpse in the back.
In a puddle of green goo.
Yeah. So it's a good thing he came back. It's pretty. I thought this was going to be a dream because he describes it so horrifically. It's like, oh, his eyes were bulging out. He was wheezing and making horrific gasping sounds. But he's able to save the day. So Andy and Evan now, they free a cat. This is like the next day. The Bamer twins have struck again. They tied a cat to the trunk of a tree.
Do we know it's them?
We don't, but
was it Sarah Beth?
Well, Sarah Beth is just another cat.
Yeah.
So as far as the audience knows, and we know, we don't know anything about Sarah Beth.
Okay, we know the ending,
Fine,
guys.
Sarah Beth is a witch, and she's been behind all of it.
So, are we sure? Are we so sure it was the Bamers? Are we sure it wasn't, like, because cats, are the guardians of the underworld or whatever, like, witchcraft, cats, like...
I thought, this is all highly speculative, because she is a cat herself. Why would she do harm to other cats?
Matthew, we know she's a witch human.
Oh, but then why was she ever a cat? Why was she a cat all this time?
Well, when the kids are away, I'm sure she's in human form, like, smoking a cigar with her feet up, cackling, like, I made you deaf.
We're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's assume it's the Bamer twins.
Well, I'm sorry, but we're just meandering in the first 4 chapters still.
Okay, I'm saying that we're like halfway through the book and there's very little monster blood to be had.
No, I know, it's a really boring book.
It's true, I gotta describe it as
It's not
such.
boring, it takes a while to get to the action in the last 2 chapters.
Yeah.
All 29 of them.
So they free this cat. Andy thinks it's weird how Evan talks about his aunt right in front of her, but he yells out, "You're crazy old coot!" I had to clean it up a little bit because he said some pretty nasty stuff. And he does this to prove to Andy that she is deaf. But she kind of hears him. She looks up. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't know. She just has good timing, I guess. Did you think that maybe she wasn't deaf?
Yeah. I thought maybe she was just not pretending, but like not faking it, but she was just like, it was very selective.
Yeah.
Like, she could hear, but she couldn't respond, maybe, or something like, or like she was trying to let there was something amiss.
Yeah, there's many different levels of deafness, and sometimes people say they're deaf, but they can still hear things. Sometimes people say they're deaf and just need the volume on the television turned up real loud.
Well, yeah. Okay.
I didn't know if she was 100% deaf, like medically.
I thought that was what she was telling people. I just didn't know.
Yeah.